With the recent announcement that Five Nights is finally coming to DBD, the hype and anticipation is at an all-time high for a lot of players. So for today's video, I wanted to have a discussion on what makes us excited for upcoming content in the DBD community. We've had a lot of build-up for chapters over the lifespan of this game, including trailers, teasers, and a ton of speculation for what could be coming. So let's take a trip down memory lane and look back on some of the most hyped lead-ups for Dead by Daylight while we await the juggernaut that is Five Nights at Freddy's. So let's talk about it. So first off, I want to talk about Five Nights. A couple of you have asked for a whole video on power speculation and just, what we think the chapter is going to be. I definitely will be doing a video totally dedicated to Five Nights, as we always do for upcoming chapters. Today's video is just about hype and, just the fun times that we have in lead ups to upcoming chapters, but we'll be making a whole standalone video just for Five Nights. That one will probably be a lot more detailed than my usual chapter or power speculation videos that I've done in the past, because as we all know, even if you're not a fan of Five Nights, you know how big and important this is coming into DBD. It's been one of the most, if not the most requested collaboration to join the Fog since forever. So yeah, I'll be making an entirely separate video for that. Don't you worry, it is definitely coming. Today's video is just a little fun one. I recently made a post on Twitter in a Dead by Daylight community. What are some of the chapters that you guys have been the most hyped about in the past? So I wanted to do that in video form. So my first main point is about hype and build up. When you think about it, the hype and anticipation for what could be coming into this game is a very, 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 very big part of the draw for our community here. Obviously, we know the gameplay mechanic is major and it's super fun, with the chasing and surviving, survivor perks and everything to outwit or outfox the killer. Obviously, we know that's a giant part of the game, and obviously cosmetics are also a big part of it. But something that really keeps a lot of us, including myself, coming back to this game is the anticipation of what is still to come. I think that that's a very big part of the reason why Dead by Daylight has been around for so long. It was practically the first, asymmetric horror game to do what it's done, which is having, as we've said before, basically a Hall of Fame of horror. And we know there's tons of that, across movies and video games. It's basically a never-ending theme of what could be. And so I think that's a very big part of why we keep coming back. I know I'm definitely speaking for myself. Anytime we're in like teaser week or we're in like that speculation period where we know a new chapter is on the horizon, but we don't quite know what it is honestly some of the most fun I have with this game. Half of my fun, me personally, is looking forward to what's coming. I get super excited. I make sure my notifications are on, so I can, see as soon as they, announce anything. And so I know that as soon as they posted that picture of the collaboration that they're having with Five Nights, I mean, it just felt like a huge surge in the community where everyone was talking about it, and it just seems like, the hype is real. So, and it's very real. So it's a cool thing that this game has that, where it's a video game, but we look forward to these releases like it's, super important, and it is to us in the community here for this game. So I think the hype and the build up is a super big part of this game. Obviously, we have the community, we have each other, we have the gameplay, but us being able to look forward to what's coming, to me, it's, I can be honest, it's unmatched. I mean, I've been playing video games since I was a kid, and I've never stuck to a game as long as I have this one. This has been the one video game that anybody who knows me will say, man, you've been playing that game forever. And it's true. This is the only video game where it's just one of them where I've played that game basically since it's been out. And I think the reason for that is largely due to just the anticipation. Kudos to Behavior for being able to do that and capitalize on that. A lot of games don't have that. You just have like a game comes out, make a few updates, and that's it. But this game has been never ending. And so just wanted to shout out to Behavior and Dead by Daylight and all the people on the team for that, because we're still here rocking so many years later, still going strong. And now we have the biggest collaboration to ever, join coming next year. So I think that's a very big part of this game. So another point is, in the main point about this video is just, what are some of your favorite lead ups? What are the chapters that have come out in this game that you were the most excited for due to either the actual content that is coming that had been announced, or just the amount of drive that Behavior had in pushing that chapter? For me, my number one, I'll give a couple of them, but my number one, and I've been very vocal about this, is the All Things Wicked chapter. Hands down, while the Unknown is not my favorite killer, that chapter lead up was just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, that found footage, the way they did it, I mean, the cinematics and everything, it was really like, you could have said a new movie was coming out based off of those, you know, those teasers and those little trailers. I mean, they were phenomenal to me. I mean, each of them, I mean, like the notes they were doing, the voice recordings, you know, to the actual found footage, and then finally getting to like that one of the last ones where they kind of briefly showed the Unknown like attacking the person in the tent. All of that, it was like, even when we got to that point, we still didn't really know what it was. You know, we obviously had ruled out like the Wendigo, but we knew, but we didn't know, and that added to it as well. And like, you know, just the cinematics were just superb. Everything about it was awesome. And it just, to me, that was the biggest build up for me personally. I had the most fun time. I mean, that thing had me like at work, like just looking at the trailers and the teasers and reading those like those text blurbs that they had and listening to the voice recordings. It had me doing that like over and over and over, trying to figure this thing out. And it was just the most fun I've had in a build up. And I've looked forward in these other couple of chapters that I'm going to name were also exciting because I was looking forward to the actual content more, but just about the build up, unmatched to me. It's just, nothing else has been as good as that to me, where it was just from start to finish was excellent marketing. And so I just, you know, that for me was the biggest one. The other two that I was excited for were Chucky and Alien. I think those were leaked, but still, like, just knowing that, because with Alien, like, I think that was one of the ones where they went ahead. I don't think they did any teasers for Alien. I think like the very first video or announcement they put out for Alien was just them saying, hey, this next one is Alien. It was a very little quick announcement trailer that Alien was coming. You know, I'm a very big fan of the Alien and Predator franchises. And so for me, that was one of the ones that I was really wanting in the game anyway, along with, like, you know, I've done a couple of videos now for like Dream chapters, but Alien and Predator are two that I really wanted in the game. So I have half of my wishes. So that was one that I was really looking forward to because I was looking forward to the content itself. And looking back on that, I do think Alien is pretty cool, but I'm someone that really wishes they would have found a way to implement face huggers, man. I just, you know, if it had been some type of mechanic like with Pig in the reverse bear trap thing, where you get a face hugger on you and you have an X amount of time to do something like that thing that the character did in Prometheus, where she had to like use, well, I guess that'd be kind of crazy to put on the map, but something like that, where you have to try to get, you know, the alien extracted before you die. You know, I don't know how they would have done, but I'm sure they could have made something work. You know, they've made a lot of things work. So that's the only thing about, well, that and the freaking turrets, the flame turrets. Those things about the chapter were kind of off-putting for me. I do absolutely adore the tunnel system, though. That's one of those things where they took something to the next level and tried something they had never done. And it was phenomenal, you know, and I still try to play Alien to this day just for the tunneling system. And then the other one was Chucky. Chucky was a villain that actually terrified me as a kid. Like a lot of people, I'm sure, it was something very strange about a freaking killer doll that was so mean and menacing, you know? That was something that terrified me as a kid. But as I got older, watching all the movies and everything, you know, I ended up in becoming a horror fan and a slasher fan. You know, those films were something that I was like, you know, this would be interesting coming into the fog. But I was someone, just like a lot of you, didn't think that it would be possible because he's so short, and how would they do that, and what would his power even be? But I think we see, you know, we can't sleep on Behavior. You know, I know Behavior gets a lot of flack, but we cannot sleep on them when it comes to, hey, it may be possible. You know, their design team, you know, has done a good job on a lot of things. So obviously, with Chucky being one of the stronger killers now in the game, I think they did an excellent job with that as well. I was looking forward to that one to both Alien and Chucky, because I was actually looking forward to the content more than the actual build-up. But because I was looking forward to that content so much, the build-up and anticipation was also mega for me. So those were the three that I had the most fun leading up to, being definitely All Things Wicked with Unknown and Sable, and then Chucky and Alien. Obviously, the one more thing about Alien is I wish they would have been able to get Sigourney Weaver's likeness for Ripley, but you know, but yeah, those are my three that I was the most hyped about. So with all that said, guys, I really just wanted to, like I said, make a quick video about just hype in general. So you guys let me know. I mean, do you guys share the same sentiment where you just, once we get on like the teaser and the trailer week, you get really excited about the game? Or is there something else that drives your hype and anticipation? I know, we've got a long way to go for Five Nights. So I'll be making, like I said in the beginning, I'll be making another, a whole separate video just for that, where we go over the entire chapter, survivors, map, all that good stuff, all that jazz. But I just wanted to talk about, just hype in general, because that's a very big part of this game, is looking forward to what's coming. So you guys let me know down below in the comments, what gets you excited to keep coming back to Dead by Daylight? With that said, that's gonna be all for today, guys. As I always say, stay safe, and I will see you in the fog.